The Caleb Williams disrespect, national disrespect continues, and Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. Let's talk about all of it right now.
Bend over to your right.
What the was that?
What's up, Bears fans? People want to hear me talk.
What's going on, Bears fans, and welcome to another episode of the Nicholas Moreano Show. I'm your host, Nicholas Moreano. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and make sure to share this YouTube channel with a fellow Bears fan. As always, for people that tune in, this show is, of course, powered by Triumph Drinks in that top left-hand corner, I believe. For you guys watching, the hydrogen-infused electrolyte that helps fight fatigue, supports muscle recovery, and promotes overall wellness with the power of molecular hydrogen. Zero sugar, zero artificial ingredients. It's clean, effective hydration without the sugar or crash. Use code Nick at triumphDrinks.com to get 10% off. Actually, now we're bumping that up. So if you were to go to Triumph Drinks right now, you guys actually get 25% off. Make sure we have that right. So yeah, use that code Nick, N-I-C-K, get 25% off. Every purchase with that code helps the show grow and keeps the content coming your way. Plus, Triumph donates a portion of every sale to mental health charities. Add the winning element to your daily grind at triumphdrinks.com. All right, everybody, Nicholas Moreano Show. We're going to do a really quickly condensed episode because, look at me, I'm looking nice and dapper here. I'm going to a rehearsal dinner, wedding this weekend. I'm the best man, got the best man speech all planned out. So wanted to get down here really quickly, do a show before I head down to Chicago. But I do want to start, and maybe we can start this either way. The national disrespect that I keep seeing for Caleb Williams. And then I think what most recently happened is Micah Parsons, a Green Bay Packer. So let's start there, actually, because I was actually at Marquee Sports working when the news dropped. And I actually didn't even see it. I was editing a video for Marquee Sports. And then my manager is like, hey, Nick, when you're done with that, can you write the Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers story? And I just kind of froze for a sec. Like, what do you mean? Write the Micah Parsons, the Green Bay Packers story. And behold, look on Twitter, social media, and boom, it happened. 2 firsts, Kenny Clark to Dallas, and then you get Micah Parsons going to Green Bay. And I'm not going to be one of those people that's underplaying this move. That's a power move by the Green Bay Packers. And had this been something that the Bears would have capitalized on, I'm sure Bears fans would be saying the exact same thing. But I'm not going to go to that route and underplay this. Micah is a dude and is somebody that, as an opposing offense, you need to absolutely game plan for. Right? Rashawn Gary's over there too. Micah Parsons on one side. That 2 games in December are going to be extremely difficult. So I'm not going to, like I said, underplay this move. The Packers are going all in. We got to see if they can reap the benefits of it. I still have questions about Jordan Love, just whether or not that unit's actually going to be in a position to take that next step with a guy like this. And so, when you just look at the NFC North in general, Parsons, when you look at some of the odds now, shifts that momentum to the Green Bay Packers being, looking, depending where you look, the favorites to win the division. I don't actually disagree with that, but we just need to see how it all fits. Still, playing in cold weather games in Lambeau Field is different than playing indoors, in Arlington, Texas, in Jerry's World. But it was a huge move for the Green Bay Packers, and it does make the NFC North that much more difficult. The Bears, by that point in December, need to have figured out who's your left tackle. Obviously, have the pre-snap penalties figured out. Just be rolling on offense. And Ben Johnson did a exclusive interview with Marquee Sports, my guy Scott Bear, and said that the Bears should be playing their best football by December, January. That better be the case when you face a guy like Micah Parsons, right? Like, no doubt about it. So, I've been seeing these analogies that Bears fans now are like the Packers fans in 2018 when Khalil Mack got traded to the Bears. And I can see it very similarly. Very premium pass rushers. When you look statistically, I think Micah's like even has better numbers. So it's a big move for Green Bay. We'll have to see if they can actually reap the benefits of it though, because that's one guy that you allocate a lot of resources into, make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. You got to go win now, or you're not going to actually benefit from a player like this. We saw the resurgence that the Bears got in 2018 under Khalil Mack and, ending that season short because of the double doink, but that was a team that had a lot of momentum. But the years following, it wasn't the same return that Khalil Mack brought in 2018 than he did the rest of the seasons. Also, I thought that was pretty funny that someone posted on social media that, Eberflus comes to Chicago, Mack is traded, goes to Dallas, Micah Parsons is traded. Pretty crappy luck, if I say so myself there. But it's interesting that that's how it kind of played out. But yeah, December, they have that first matchup, I believe, like December 7th, and 2 weeks later face the Green Bay Packers again. So it's going to be some time before the Bears see Micah Parsons. He has to be healthy, of course, on the field, all that great stuff, but it's does not make things easier. And I get it if you're like Bears fans that want to downplay the significance of it. Sure, by all means, you can. But that's a seismic move for an organization. Very similar effects that like Khalil Mack had when he was traded to the Chicago Bears in 2018. But yeah, I didn't even know it was like actually happening until I'm like, oh, let me write this article about Micah being a Green Bay Packer. Like, damn, dude. Funny story too, really quickly. I was gassing up and pull up right next to me is Josh Blackwell, Bears nickel corner. So we were just kind of chatting it up, and he asked me like, what do you think of the move? And I told him like, that's a problem. That's a problem. And he, shook his head in agreement, but he's like, I just didn't think it would happen. That's what Blackwell was saying. He said, if anything, maybe it'd be Trey Hendrickson being the guy that gets traded. But, that obviously didn't end up happening. He also recommended that I go watch the Netflix documentary on the Cowboys. That's all about Jerry Jones, things like that. So he said, you watch that, you see how all of this makes sense. So now I have something to watch when, I get some free time here in a little bit. But when I get that free time, who knows? Because football season's starting. I cannot freaking wait. I hope, even though the Packers have Micah Parsons, the Bears have Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson. And this is where I want to kind of shift focus really quickly. And actually, before I do, because this is going to be a condensed show, because like I said, I got to get to Chicago here in a little bit, but I just need to get my thoughts out here really quickly about everything that's happened, specifically the Micah Parsons news. But really quickly, Windy City Sports Cards, everybody, they specialize in buying and selling all things related to Chicago sports. Whether you're a diehard fan, Bears, Bulls, Cubs, White Sox, or Blackhawks, they've got you covered with an extensive selection of sports memorabilia and collectibles, in addition to those Chicago-focused items, everybody. They also offer a vast collection of sports trading cards and memorabilia from your favorite teams and players. Visit their online store to find exactly what you're looking for to complete your collection or discover a new favorite. Check them out at 312-WindyCitySportsCards.com. That's 312-WindyCitySportsCards.com. And I was already telling you about Triumph drinks, everybody. Video is powered by Triumph, the hydrogen-infused electrolyte drink that keeps you going strong. Get 25% off by using the code NICK, N-I-C-K. It helps support more Bears breakdowns every single week. It happens, green and yellow, maybe not the best color combination, but it is such a great product. Triumph drinks. Check them out over here. We're just going to bam, put you right there. Okay, let's get into, I don't even know. I really don't even know why this is happening at this point. Just a national disrespect for Caleb Williams. He's like, to me, kind of out there accusations about him. And, the latest one was on the Herd. And I know, like, I've seen a lot of comments. People don't give this guy recognition, light, but it's kind of getting to the point where I'm just like, why? And really quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you guys and just kind of show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to go to my Twitter. Let me know if you guys can see all this. Hopefully in the chat, I guess I can't see that you're seeing this, but it's saying I'm sharing my screen. So let's do this really quickly. Now I got to find my tweet, go on my profile here. Reshared some tacos, Braxton Jones. Okay, here we go. So I had this tweet here on the video below, and I'm not going to play like the audio or anything, but even just reading like the caption, I don't hear a lot of praise from Ben Johnson. He doesn't seem happy. And this is Jason, the man filling in for Colin Coward. Jason, I'm not even going to pronounce the last name, but Jason here. And he actually responded to my tweet and quoted, in a radio appearance at 670 Score this week, the Athletics' Dan Weeder suggested Williams is on a short lease with Bajan waiting in the wings. My take was in reference to this. But you know what? I don't really know if it was. And last thing here, so I could stop sharing my screen. You also had right here, Caleb Williams retweet my tweet of enough is enough. What is going on here? So I'm going to stop sharing real quick and go back to, hopefully you guys were able to see that. If not, I couldn't see what you could see, but hopefully you saw my screen there. I just don't think that was it, because the whole Ben Johnson doesn't seem happy because he hasn't like publicly went to the media and said anything positive about Williams. I mean, that's also not true. Like, I don't expect national media to be taken in every single press conference, but of course, Ben Johnson is openly spoken about Caleb Williams in a positive light. Like, that's to be expected, right? I just pulled up random quotes, just random. This is from July 29th, 2025. And Ben Johnson was asked, where is Caleb with motions and shifts? Something really, just a very narrow focus question, but the whole like premise, I thought, listening to that video on the herd, was that there's no public praise for Caleb. Okay, where's Caleb with emotions and shift? Yeah, I probably just see growth. He's so much more comfortable right now. Even yesterday, the walkthrough yesterday, in terms of moving around, we go from gun to under. The tight ends are moving. The receivers are moving. We're adding more every day. I told him this is on the player day off. His process is really clean right now. I'm talking about how he's preparing. I'm really pleased with it. He's doing the work behind the scenes that no one else is seeing, and we're starting to see the dividends being paid from it. What is that? That sounds positive. So when you're selecting specific samples from specific press conferences, we can all do that. I can keep doing this about positive things that Ben Johnson has said, but it just seems to be at a point where there's being these discussions made up of really nothing. Caleb Williams hasn't played a regular season game since the last time he was in Lambeau Field and led the Bears on a fourth quarter game-winning field goal to defeat the Packers. That was the last time Caleb Williams was on a football field when it actually counted in the regular season. But yet there's all these narratives that have been brought up about him, and Roman Dunze's even being asked, like, why do you think that he's such a polarizing figure? The Caleb Williams. And then he kind of goes like, well, you guys make the stories. And really, I don't know if it's like the local media. It's just nationally, things just get blown out of proportion. And we all just need football to actually be played, regular season games, so that what we're talking about are games being played, as opposed to, I don't know, Caleb Williams missing some throws at a net in practice, or how high his socks, or this now. It's obviously it's also Caleb seeing it. And I don't blame him for it. As a Caleb Williams, 23, 24 years old? And I get it. He's a starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears, but he's still a person too. You don't think he goes on social media? If he just searched up his name, you're going to see all the backlash that he gets for just being himself. It's kind of, I would think it would be tiring if you're him. But even like covering the Bears. It's like, but wait, why is this all happening right now? Did he do something? Oh, no, he hasn't. He hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't played a game. But Ben Johnson apparently isn't happy with him. What are we doing here? So that's why I tweeted what I tweeted. And I get a lot of people don't give it publicity, but I was just honestly curious. Like, what is going on here? Enough's enough. But that's where we're at currently because games are not being played. Monday night against the Minnesota Vikings, we'll have completely different topics to discuss, to dissect, see what Ben Johnson's offense will do against a Brian Flores-led defense. It'll be a lot of fun. National spotlight, the only game on, too. So you best believe that next Tuesday morning, National Talking Heads will have potentially something different to talk about with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and this Bears team moving forward. But guys, I just wanted to literally get on here and kind of just share my thoughts that were kind of going through my head as I was like dissecting the news yesterday with Micah Parsons. Like I said, that's a move. That is a freaking move. And I know some of my Packers friends who are Packers fans, not Packers friends who are Packers fans are ecstatic, as they should be when you get a player like that. We'll have to see how that works out for them and how much more of an impact he's going to create for, I believe, a Packers defense that was top 10 in the league in sacks last season, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around the 8 range, somewhere around there. But yeah, that's gonna be a tough 2 games in December, you guys. I believe the Packers and Cowboys play in week 4, if I'm not mistaken. I definitely, if depending on what time the Bears game is at, gonna be watching that game to see how that all works out too. Should be a fun one, but I'm really looking forward to this season starting, you guys. Really looking forward to seeing how Caleb Williams can create his own narrative with Ben Johnson in this offense. Should be fun. And I'm going to have some updates with this YouTube channel as well, with the season starting up, locker room availability becoming a thing. There's going to be a lot more perks coming to this channel. Just an FYI. So really looking forward to sharing that all with you, but we're going to wrap it up here and just get on with the week. Like I said, I have a rehearsal dinner to get to right now. Wedding is tomorrow. Got the speech locked in, ready to go. So I'm really looking forward to everything. But everybody have a great weekend, and we'll tune in sometime next week. But until then, adios, Bears fans.
Bend over to your right.
What the was that?
What's up, Bears fans? People want to hear me talk.